Have you ever wondered why you feel that really strong pull to help a friend, but maybe not so much for a stranger? We like to think of empathy as this universal thing, but what if it has a biological off switch? Today, we're going to break down the incredible work from Jocelyn M. Britton's PhD dissertation. We're going to look at the neurobiology of helping and how our brains actually decide who gets our kindness.
Okay, so let's dive right into this core idea, what scientists call the empathy gap. It's this really curious thing where our ability to help and feel for other people, well, it isn't always spread around equally. It's selective.
Just think about it for a second. Imagine you see two people who need help. One's a close friend, someone you know. The other is a complete stranger. Your gut reaction, that immediate impulse, it's probably going to be different for each of them. And that difference is exactly what we're talking about. This isn't about being a good or bad person. It's just a feature of how our brains seem to be wired.
And yeah, there's a name for it, in-group bias. It's this super well-documented tendency we all have to favor us over them. And it's not trivial. It can influence everything from who we sit with at lunch to who we might help in a serious crisis. It's a powerful and pretty pervasive force that shapes our social world.
So, that leads to the big question, right? Is this bias something we just learned from society? Or does it have deeper biological roots? Well, to try and figure that out, scientists turn to a surprising place, the brain of an animal that shares some of our most basic social behaviors, the rat.
And this brings us to a really simple but honestly brilliant experiment that's at the very heart of this research. It was designed to measure that helping behavior in a way they could totally control.
Okay, so check this out. Here's the setup. It's called the helping behavior test. You have one rat who's trapped in this clear tube. It's obviously stressed out. And then there's a second rat who's free, in the same area with it. Now, the free rat is the only one who can open the little door and let its buddy out. And what we already know from other studies is that rats will consistently and voluntarily choose to help each other.
So, let's break it down real simple. Step 1, a rat gets trapped. Step 2, a free rat is put in there with it. Step 3, that free rat has the choice to open the door and help. And Step 4, the really crucial part, the scientists measure how long it takes. That little bit of data, how quickly the rat decides to help, it becomes this powerful window into the rat's motivation.
Okay, now here is where it gets really fascinating. The scientists decided to add a twist. What if the trapped rat wasn't a friend? What if it was a total stranger from a different strain of rat? Well, the results showed this stunning change that happens over time. And wow, the difference was like night and day. As juveniles, when they're young, rats are basically universal helpers. They see another rat in trouble, and they help. Doesn't matter if it's their cage mate or a rat they've never seen before. But as they grow up and become adults, this bias just appears. All of a sudden, they only help rats from their own group, their in-group. And they completely ignore the distress of the stranger, the out-group rat. The empathy gap literally opens up right before our eyes. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? This massive shift in behavior, from helping everyone to only helping us, it has to leave a fingerprint on the brain. Something is physically changing as these rats become adults. But what is it?
So, to find the answer, the researchers basically needed a map of the brain's activity during the test. They had to see what was lighting up when a rat decided to help a friend compared to when it just ignored a stranger.
And they used this super clever technique with a marker called CFOS. You can think of CFOS as like a biological highlighter pen. When a brain cell is really active, it produces this protein. So by looking for CFOS, scientists can get a snapshot, a picture of which specific brain cells were firing like crazy during that helping test.
And the results were just incredibly clear. Don't worry about all the tiny labels in these diagrams. The big picture is what's important. Helping a member of their own group didn't just light up one little spot. Nope, it activated an entire network of different brain regions all talking to each other. It's a whole helping circuit. And the key thing, when a rat ignored a stranger, that whole network, it stayed dark.
And deep inside that network, one area just kept popping up. It seemed to be the central hub, the command center that was driving the whole show. And that region is called the nucleus accumbens.
So what is the nucleus accumbens? Oh, it's a huge deal in the brain. It's at the very core of our reward and motivation system. It's the part of your brain that makes you want to get food or water or hang out with friends. The best way to think about it, it's the brain's motivation engine.
And get this, here is the smoking gun. This graph is showing the activity in that motivation engine in real time. See that huge spike? That peak happens at the exact moment the rat goes to help its trapped in-group buddy. The brain is getting this jolt of reward, this motivational kick, specifically from helping a friend. But when it approaches a stranger, the signal is totally flat. The engine just doesn't start.
So, okay, we've gone super deep into the rat brain. But what does all of this mean for us, for humans? This is where this amazing research really connects back to our own, much more complicated social world. And the researchers themselves put it so powerfully. They wrote, "Understanding the empathy gap is a major goal for society." This isn't just about rats in a lab. It's about trying to understand the deep biological reasons that can lead us to help some people, while we just turn away from the suffering of others.
All right, so let's just boil it all down. What are the big things to remember? First, our instinct to help isn't some simple on-off switch. It's definitely biased towards people we see as us. Second, this bias doesn't seem to be there from day one. It develops and gets stronger as we get older. And finally, that urge to help someone in our group is biologically wired into the exact same brain circuits that make us feel rewarded and motivated.
So at the end of the day, the big takeaway is this. Helping someone from our own group isn't just a selfless, noble act. It actually feels good. Our brains are wired to treat helping one of us as a fundamental reward, firing up that motivation engine to get us to take action.
And all of this leaves us with a pretty challenging question. For me, for you, for all of us. If this tendency for bias is a deeply ingrained, maybe even hardwired part of how our adult brains work, what does that mean for our ability to rise above it? How do we make the conscious choice to help a stranger, to bridge that empathy gap, even when our brain's motivation engine doesn't automatically kick into gear? That's definitely something worth thinking about.